If you're an e-commerce operator looking to implement a backend software for your business, this video is for you. Look, you've got everybody from NetSuite down to SKU Vault saying that they're the best software for your business. The reason why it's so difficult to know if a software is going to be good for your business is this: e-commerce operations are not straightforward. For example, I could implement 2 supplement companies today that operate totally differently. Even though they're in the same category, their tech needs are totally different. So you can't just look to see if a software services your industry, you have to see if it actually services your operational archetype. I promise you, if you understand your operational archetype, you will feel way less pain when you implement a backend software. All right, so today I'm gonna go over a better way to categorize yourself so that you can make better backend tech decisions for your business. Okay guys, so for our first archetype, we have our traditional direct-to-consumer. So I call this our traditional DTC. This makes up more than 50% of e-commerce companies out there. This is the classic product-focused founder. He has a unique product, a unique twist with his product in a specific market, and he's going after it. It's the typical e-commerce solopreneur story. So I have a couple of brand examples to the right. So we've got Ann Caller, Utah company, love them. True Classic, Thread, Jolie, some pretty well-known ones, some less well-known ones. So while these companies might not be in the same category, like you have a supplement company, you have a skincare company, you have an accessories company, you have a clothing company, they're across totally different verticals. But what I notice is they all have almost the exact same operational evolution. And this actually dictates when and what they should implement with their software and their systems. So hopefully diving into this will help you understand, if you're one of these brands, why you feel so complicated, and at a specific moment in time, why the pain is so high. So let's go ahead and dive into that. So if you look to your left, so on the y-axis, we have the complexity curve right here. So these are complexity markers. And all that means is these are decisions or evolutions in your operations that change the way you do business, okay? They're really making you more complicated one step at a time. The x-axis is going to be the milestones. So this is more like time and revenue. So, ideally your business gets perfectly more complex as time goes by. It's like it should just be a straight line. So ideally, you are evolving with revenue and you're growing and you're getting equally as complex. The problem is with e-commerce companies, it doesn't work like that. You'll have times where your complexity peaks way up, and it's because of specific decisions. So let's dive into that. Each one of these companies, they have what I call a garage stage. And this doesn't even have to take place in their garage per se. So let's do an entrepreneur example. So this is Billy. He started a clothing company. Let's say he started he has this new take on joggers. He has the most flexible and simplest material that's just amazing and looks stylish. So Billy starts his e-commerce company. He buys a bunch of stuff from a supplier, and really at this stage, he's jazzed. He's just trying to get product market fit. He's trying to get people to sell his product, and he's just seeing if people will like the same stuff that he likes. And he's succeeding. Like he's going from his first sale all the way to like $500,000 in sales. That's sort of like the garage timeline that I see. And it's really just a founder. He made some cool shit and he's trying to find product market fit. So let's map out his complexity, okay? His operational complexity. So it starts out really flat. It's pretty straightforward. These types of e-commerce companies, they're relatively easier to start in an operational sense because Shopify nowadays and Amazon have made it so easy to just start a business where you're selling 1 or 2 products. Your complexity marker is really just, I get my first sell on Shopify, I get my first sell on Amazon, and either a 3PL is fulfilling for me or I'm doing all of the operations myself out of a garage. So I'm just like Billy here in this picture. I'm slapping a label as the order comes in and shipping it out. Probably not making much money at all, but I'm figuring out wow, people are they actually like my product. This is pretty cool. Now, at this stage, the tech stack that will service you is pretty straightforward. I see this a million times. ShipStation and Google Sheets. So ShipStation is handling this complexity and your Google Sheets as well. You don't need something too complex. You're just fulfilling orders on Shopify, maybe using ShipStation to print out labels, and just maybe some Google Sheets to keep track of basic inventory numbers or your purchase orders. So that is serving you up to this point. It's pretty good. So this growth stage, which is typically from 500K to 5 million, this is where things get a little bit more painful. Okay, so this growth stage is such an interesting one. And I see this archetype, these types of brands make these decisions. It's almost like a cookie cutter. It's like a cardboard cutout. You can predict this. Almost every single one of them make these same decisions. So in growth stage, you found some product market fit. Well, guess what? Boom, your complexity starts to shoot way up. And here's why. At any point, it doesn't necessarily feel like you're making bad decisions or like complex decisions, but over time it compounds. And the longer you wait to address the complexity brought on by these decisions, the more painful it'll feel. So let's dive into some of these complexity markers. So Billy now is spending most of his day, he's wondering like, man, I used to just like put a label on the box and ship it out and run things on Google Sheets. It was so good. Now I'm just like in spreadsheets all day. And I'm wondering like, what the hell am I doing? So what got Billy there? Well, so Billy outsourced to a 3PL at the stage at the very beginning. You know, he got his first couple sales. So, okay, like, yeah, let's just send this to a 3PL. I want to focus on sales. Awesome. So he immediately starts expanding products. He starts selling a 2-pack and a 3-pack and bundles. And he starts doing seasonal colors and like different cuts. And he's even thinking about doing a women's clothing line. He also gets his first specialty wholesale account. So he knows a buddy that knows a buyer at a local place, and they're like, hey, can we buy 100 units every week? It's like, oh, sure, let's do it. On top of that, he's like, you know what? I don't want to buy from this domestic supplier. Like, actually, I can cut the costs in half if I just source this from overseas. Let's do this. Or, you know, maybe he even starts sourcing raw materials to cut costs. So all of these things, all of these decisions in a vacuum, it's not really that big of a deal. You know, your first wholesale account, you're just sending emails back and forth. You tell the guy that you hired, or you just email the 3PL, hey, like, send out these 100 units to this person. It's not that big of a deal. These things compound in the growth stage with more volume. Pretty soon, Billy, who at this point, all he has, he's typically only hired one person to help him out, like the jack of all trades ops guy or girl. And he is sitting here wondering, like, why do we feel so complex? So the reason why is because what I see so often with this archetype, the traditional D2C brand, is their tech stack does not evolve from garage to growth. So what does that mean? It means he's still servicing this complexity with this tech stack: ShipStation, Google Sheets, QuickBooks. Honestly, you could replace ShipStation with other point solutions like Pirate Ship or like shipping software. So the problem is these tools don't help you plug into a 3PL. They don't help you push sales orders to a 3PL. They don't account for kitting and bundling, and particularly like the forecasting of kitting and bundling and the consumption of data that flows into a forecast. They certainly don't account for a wholesale account in the flow that happens there, like custom pricing and payment terms and pushing that invoice to QuickBooks and then also pushing it to your 3PL. I gotta tell you, like, this tech right here does not service any of that. So this right here, the red line, is where the tech stack, what it services, and this right here is the delta. And this is pain right here. So this, in short, this is why I see so many of these traditional e-commerce archetypes, they get to this point after or at the end of their growth stage or at the beginning of their profit stage. This is Billy. He's like, I have so much pain. My tech sucks so much. My processes aren't the best. I guess I need to solve all of my problems and go to NetSuite. No, you don't. You don't have to go to NetSuite. In fact, you just need a system that is monetized for traditional D2C. A company who is in growth stage, has low margins, hardly making money. That's not NetSuite. And this is actually where Luminous comes in. So Luminous is the backend solution that comes in during your growth stage. We're purpose built for the modern e-commerce company, and we scale with you at any one of these complexity points. It's like Jared, well, actually, you know, we just need to be able to plug into our 3PL and consume all the data and push our wholesale sales orders there. Like, it's okay, we got you. And that's going to be cost effective too, without $1 million implementation. Or like, you know, we expanded our products to kits and bundles, and we're just expanding a lot of SKUs. I think we need like a central repository that we can actually forecast from and have one single source of truth. Yes, actually, you don't have to pay thousands and thousands of dollars a month for that. We got our first wholesale account. Yeah. You know, Jared, we just need something that will play well with our 3PL's WMS and with QuickBooks. Yeah, we have a wholesale portal. We purpose build our system to handle the things that traditional e-commerce companies run into at every stage. And you're only paying for what you actually need. So that's how Luminous, that's where we come in, is at this painful stage for you guys. You don't have to be Billy here, who's like, I guess I gotta bite the bullet and go to NetSuite and spend $200,000 on implementation and $10,000 a month. No, you don't have to. Now, some good news for the traditional e-commerce archetypes. Anybody who gets out of this stage, it's pretty smooth sailing from there. It's really, complexity does just generally increase with over time. And this is where Billy here, instead of having one jack of all trades ops person and outsourcing everything like fractional CFO, fractional bookkeeper, fractional everything, outsourcing to a 3PL. At this stage, in your profit stage, you start seeing them taking on roles full time and building actual organizations that are scalable and can be acquired. So a great path for so many businesses. This right here is the pain that Luminous comes in and solves though. So hopefully that helps, guys.